Are you ready? Stand by.
Welcome to 3Gun Show, your source for technique, strategy, and match recon, brought to you by Armalite Rifles, LAG Tactical, and Breda Shotguns. I'm your host, Dave Hartman. This week is part 2 of Parting Shots from Vortex Shooter Source 3Gun with Bill Corcoran, Ryan Reed, Nick Miller, and Adam Maxwell. This podcast is brought to you by Breda USA, Italian shotguns that are the best in the world. And this is a shotgun tech tip from Team Breda. Hey, this is Dave Hartman from the 3Gun Show, and I'm with Tina Martin-Nims from Team Breda, and we are going to learn about choke selection.
So before you go out to the match, you want to make sure that you have an understanding of how what your chokes are patterned at. So what I like to do is I have my 3 main chokes that I usually use, which is a spreader, an IC, an improved cylinder, and a mod. And I set my targets out at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And it's just like a knockover steel and a flipper. And I test to see what how they perform at those distances with the ammo that I typically use. And so when I go out onto a stage, I already know that at, say, 35 yards, I can use my mod choke and knock it out. And I'll be all ready to go.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's your tech tip from Tina Martin-Nims of Team Breda. Check out Breda's B12i 3-gun ready inertia-driven shotgun at bredausa.com. That's BREDA. This podcast is brought to you by LAG Tactical. I've been using LAG gear for 3 years now, and I just got an upgrade into their new for 2018 MCS mag pouches. MCS stands for Modular Carry System and is a 2-piece design that fits most double-stack 9 and 40 mags and most AR mags. That means I can loan gear to someone in need on the range, even if we're shooting different guns. I've been using these pouches for many matches now, and they've been great. I like that you can choose the retention based on what is required by the stage, Speed Demon or locked in tight. I've been shooting the low-cut Supernova holster as well, and it has been a dream. They make it in a mid and high cut too if you're into that, but I'm digging the low cut. Super fast draws and plenty of retention when you need it. Check them out, lagtactical.com, and use code 3GS in all caps to save yourself 10% when placing an order. Thank you for tuning in to the 3Gun Show podcast this week. You know, it's pretty interesting to do a weekly podcast because it is like a little diary of my life. What I was thinking at the time, where I was at the time. When I was traveling full-time and shooting matches, I'd start each podcast with the city that I was recording in at the time. And it's kind of interesting to go back and listen to those and see where I was and imagine what I was doing when I recorded that podcast. And you get to do the journey along with me, and I'm always happy to have you. So now, not only do I get to tell you about all the cool places I go and the wonderful people I meet, but the projects I'm working on as well. I just put out a new video on the 3Gun Show Instagram and Facebook pages, and you'll also be able to find the videos on the YouTube channel as well. So make sure to follow the 3Gun Show in all those places because there's always cool stuff coming out. Now on to this week's show. This is the final installment of Parting Shots. It's kind of a format that Adam and I came up with, and we thought it would be cool to screw around with. This one we did at the Vortex Shooter Source 3-Gun Championship, and basically we got to hear a few tales from different shooters that we flagged down and roped into saying, hey, tell us about a story from the range, and just got to see where it went, and it was a good time. So in this one, you're going to hear tales of alarms going off while people are shooting, why you never fall asleep at a match, good advice right there, the hazards of shooting big bore, and what is pork chopping. If you like this type of format, or even if you don't like it, be sure to let me know what you think on the 3Gun Show blog. Just go to 3gunshow.com and leave a comment on this episode of the show, and I'll be sure to respond to you there. So enjoy these tales from the range with Nick Miller, Ryan Reed, Bill Corcoran, and Adam Maxwell. Bill, Adam, tell me a story.
Okay, so this is one time at a match.
I guess Adam's starting.
We're down in Missouri, at the Lucas Oil Shotgun Championship.
If you hear that squeaking in the background, that's a mouse.
Yeah, it's a field mouse.
Field mouse.
And anyway, there's an epic battle between good and evil for Open Division Championship. And it's really close. It's really close.
Good and evil. Who's good and who's evil?
I don't know. Well, one of them, their shotgun's white and one of them's black, so
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, go on.
I love you guys. It's funny. Anyway, so it's close and it's hot. It's like we're getting down to like the last third of the match, right? And the points are starting to like solidify. And there's this one really good burner stage where there's like 8 shots from one position. They're going to run to another position 10 yards away and shoot 9 more shots. And Frey looks up. He starts burning it down.
You mean evil?
No.
Wait, no, is he good?
No, I don't know why you would infer that. I said no such thing. I just made observations of colors.
Oh, of shotguns.
For theatrics.
Right.
Right. So he's boom, 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 boom. Then all of a sudden there's a beep, 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 beep. Someone hit the panic button on their Jeep while he's shooting. It's none other. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave's chair just fell apart.
Holy shit.
There's one time at a match.
This one time on a podcast.
The back of this
We're
rocking
doing
chair
a
just busted.
podcast. And Dave leaned back and blew up the rocking chair into 100
We really
pieces.
need to start doing video.
Oh my God.
I can fix this. This is fine.
No, we need pictures now. There has to be a picture.
Oh, my God.
You're good. You're good.
What did you do?
You need new chair.
I totally broke this damn thing. Well, it's now a stool.
Don't lean back.
Bottom part still works, just can't lean back. Doesn't rock very well anymore. All right. Okay, go on.
Do continue.
So out of nowhere, like the back of your chair falling out, this car alarm starts going off. It's Mike and Lance. Like Josh is their boy, and they hit the thing on it. They're trying to get it shut off, and I'm like, "Oh, do you want to reshoot? Do you want to reshoot?" And he's like,
For a horn?
"Yeah, well, distraction or whatever."
Oh.
And he's like, "No, it's fine, and whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, man, that was funny, laughing, blah blah blah." Fast forward exactly 1 week. Here we are at the Vortex Shooter Source Championship down in Texas. First stage of the first day of the match. Sam Larkin is up to bat at stage 5, the long range stage, up on a elevated platform. And there's some pistol shooting to do first. And so he's shooting, ding, 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 ding.
This is, you said stage 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On
This
the
is
elevated
the
tower.
Red Stitch Target stage.
Yep. So he
That was a good
does all
stage.
the pistol stuff, body slams to the deck, to start shooting the rifle. And all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, it's happening again.
Where's Mike and Lan?
Yeah. I'm like, they're not even here. Turn around and we look and everyone's like starts scrambling, like checking their keys. It's his truck.
True story. He's up there shooting land on his keys. Whose truck is that? Whose truck is that? Is that my truck? That might be my truck.
We're like pounding on the windows, like trying to get it open.
It's locked.
It's locked.
Of course.
So that thing was going
The whole time he's shooting.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's
It
awesome.
was great.
Pro tip: don't carry your keys in your
Don't
front pocket,
keep your
kids.
keys in your pocket.
Don't keep your keys in your pocket. Don't keep your wallet in your pocket.
And whatever you do, never, ever fall asleep at a match.
Uh-oh. Is this another story here, Bill?
So last year at Fort Benning,
Uh-huh.
we were shooting with the SVS team, which is a bunch of active duty and previous Army Rangers, only Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 or 6 of them on the team. Jimmy Meeks and I are shooting together, and we're on that squad. And good guys. These guys are active duty guys. My brother served in 1st Ranger Battalion. Jimmy was a Marine. He served in the first Iraq War. With my brother and him actually ended up serving at the same time. Yeah.
Huh.
So they're combat veterans. So we got to know these guys. And Rangers are kind of funny. They won't open up to you until they know, you're kind of one of them. So we start talking and joking, and we're having a good time with these guys. Well, Jimmy's sitting waiting for a stage, and they're backed up. Jimmy starts falling asleep. So I'm watching him fall asleep. I'm like, oh, this is going to be too good. So Jimmy finally falls asleep.
Little buddy.
And I don't know these guys that well, but I know them well enough to know. I know the type. So I go over to him and I go, hey, Jimmy's asleep. And with military precision, instantaneously, the whole squad is like up and they're like, we got to do something. Squad photo. So we all go over, we take the squad photo for our squad with
Jimmy sleeping
out. And, of course, you can imagine some of the stuff that's going on behind him and whatnot. We take the squad photo. We post it on Facebook. We post it on Instagram. So play it off. We all sit back down, and we're watching. And Jimmy finally wakes up, and his phone is blowing up. He kind of looks around, and he's like, he looks over at me. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you guys are real funny. Real funny. He was out. Never.
No clue.
Fall asleep.
Never fall
at
asleep
a match.
at a match.
Ever.
If you do, lock the doors.
Oh, yeah. In your vehicle.
Yeah.
With the keys.
Right.
Don't take your keys to the match.
Yeah. Don't take your
keys on the stage. It's never happened.
Nice. Adam, Bill, thanks for the stories.
Absolutely. Anytime, Dave.
All right, I'm with Christy Hiring of Aguila Ammunition. Christy, you have a big match and a big event coming up in the Aguila Cup. What is the story behind the event here?
Yes, we do. It is the Aguila Cup. It will be held June 14th through 17th in Decatur, Texas. The first Aguila Cup started off as Copa Aguila. We held the first one in Acapulco 3 years ago, and it was then followed by 2 years in Guadalajara. We'll still continue to host the event in Guadalajara, but we wanted to bring the same event to the U.S. When it started in Acapulco, it only consisted of sporting clays. It has now grown to include 3-gun and rimfire and is now one of the biggest shooting events in all of Latin America. So we're very proud of that. So we'll bring that here to the U.S. It's going to encompass sporting clays with the main event, a prelim, VTask, and 5-stand. We'll also have a rimfire challenge event and a 3-gun event hosted by Lucas Oil and Strategic Match Design. Within those events, we're going to have the Triple Threat, the Brownells Triple Threat Award, and that can go to anyone who is eligible to participate by shooting in the 5-stand event, along with the rimfire challenge and the Lucas Oil 3-gun challenge. And so if you are participating in the Triple Threat, you're eligible to receive a $5,000 prize pack and a trophy. Then outside of the Triple Threat, with all the other events, we're going to have $65,000 in cash prizes to go to all of the shooters registered in sporting clays, 3-gun, and rimfire.
So $65,000 in cash and prizes, that is a lot. This seems like a big investment that Aguila is making. So you got to kind of assume that Aguila is really behind the shooting sports in this event.
We are. We're absolutely behind the shooting sports 100%. As an ammunition manufacturer, we wanted to be able to represent all product lines in various shooting sports. We want to show people it's not just about one particular event. It's not just rimfire. It's not just 3-gun. It's not just sporting clays. There's all types of sporting events, shooting sports out there. And we want people to try something new too. So if you're a sporting clay shooter and you've never tried 3-gun, now's your chance. You can shoot the 3-gun just to try it out, see if you like it, or you can go ahead and even take a bigger chance and try to qualify for the Triple Threat. We don't want people to be intimidated by the shooting sports. So that's why we're really pushing this as a way to recruit new shooters as well. We want to see the professionals out there, all the expert shooters, but we want to see new shooters too. We want to see people that maybe they've shot just a little bit, maybe they feel comfortable with a gun, but they've never really competed, or maybe they're just a new shooter altogether and have never even held a gun but have wanted to. So at this event, we're going to have industry support through the NRA and through the National Shooting Sports Foundation. NSSF, they are going to have their first shots program out there. So if you are a new shooter, they're going to introduce you to rifle, handgun, or shotgun shooting and just give you a nice overview of what it's about. And hopefully you'll continue to want to learn more. So in addition to recruiting the new shooters, we want this to be a family-friendly event. We want it to be a fun event, and we don't want the fun to end after the shooting's over. So we are going to have a big Texas-style dinner on Saturday night that will also include a concert with Wade Bowen. Wade is born and raised in Waco, Texas, and a red dirt singer. A lot of people are familiar with Wade. And so this will be a private concert for registered shooters only. So it should be a lot of fun on that Saturday night, too.
That's really exciting. So we're talking June 14th through the 17th, Decatur, Texas. If you're in the area or you want to be, go ahead and check it out at shootaguilacup.com. That's AGUILA. Thanks, Christy.
Thank you.
Adam.
Dave.
Good to see you, man.
Still here.
Nick, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. Ryan?
Fantastic.
I didn't ask.
What a jerk.
I hear you got a heavy story to tell us.
Oh, man. Yeah, a buddy of mine was getting ready to go to Rocky Mountain. He got him a nice JP 308, and I was like, oh, man, cool. So I ended up buying one, building one myself, and went to the first match with it. And I'd only shot it about 200 yards. We were shooting out to 4 and 5. It was my local club match, and I was shooting, and it was no problem inside of 200. I get to 300 and miss, and about the second or third miss, I was back in my head's going, that was $1 every time I missed that. And
maybe even more.
Yeah, I was shooting like Sierra 168 Match Kings, and I was, oh, man. And later on, got to another stage, and then I turned the gas down a little bit on the gun to get the less recoil, and it wouldn't run. And I was like, this isn't for me. I'm going to go back to TAC Ops. Very brief venture into heavy.
One club match.
One club match, absolutely. That rifle got converted into a deer rifle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does it still work?
Still works. Oh, great. Yeah.
Get any deer?
No, it has not taken one yet. It has been brought out there a few times.
So it's a good carrying rifle.
It's a good to carry. It wears a 28-ounce suppressor, so it's heavy to carry.
Oh, wow.
And but the 2 times I took my kids with me, and about 5 minutes into the hunt, I realized we weren't going to kill anything. They were having too much fun, giggling and talking and stuff. So, but repurposed rifle now.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Family time, go out and sit in the woods.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Nick, you ever mess around with heavy?
No, never.
No?
Not even. I'm building a 6.5 right now, but mainly to shoot pigs because, Texas has a big feral pig problem. And,
right. Well, and you've got a ton of pigs in your backyard.
Yeah, just in my backyard. And they destroy it. So I'm building a little 22-inch 6.5 gas gun right now to throw a optic on and see
Would
if I
you
can go.
say the pig situation is getting better?
No, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Even with all the hunting that they're doing right now, and I've been pork chopping, out of helicopters, and we've slayed them, and if you've never done that, oh my God, is it awesome?
What is pork chopping?
So you're shooting
sounds delicious.
pork out of a chopper.
Oh,
Yes, so
it's
pork,
like right on the nose.
yeah, pork chopping. But we went and shooting it out of both sides of the. We were in an MD500 Little Bird, flew out of Temple, and
didn't you win this at a match?
yeah. So the 3 years ago, it was the Epic 3-gun match down Copperhead Creek.
Oh, okay.
Probably about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, picked it up off the prize table, and we went out. It was me and another guy, Matt Bryce, and because we were 3-gunners, he felt that we knew what we were doing, so he allowed us to shoot out of both sides of the helicopter. And it was a 2-hour hunt, 2 or 3 hour hunt, and I think it was a 2-hour hunt with an hour lunch. So we left out of Temple. We're shooting suppressed SBR 300 blackout, and left out of Temple. I mean, you just felt like you're on the A team, right? Because
I was thinking Magnum PI.
well, yeah, that too, right? It's the A team minus the van.
Well, they shot from a chopper too
Yeah.
at some point.
Murdoch,
Murdoch was always
B.A.
stealing.
Baracus, and all those
they were
cool
always
dudes.
stealing choppers. Except B.A. Baracus didn't like to fly, so they had to knock him out.
That's true.
You would
That's
think
true.
if you had a helicopter, you'd take the keys out of it.
I don't think he used keys. So anyway, we left and we're flying over Temple, you know, we're kind of sitting out of both sides of it, and then he took us down and he'd scare the pigs. We'd shoot out of one side and shoot out of the other. Anyway, long-winded story that I am not shooting heavy.
Well, what happened with the pigs? How many pigs did you get?
I think we got into like, I don't know, 6 sounders, and we probably shot.
What's a sounder?
So a sounder is a group of pigs. So like you have a gaggle of geese.
Right.
A sounder of pigs.
A sounder of pigs?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah. So we got into a decent amount, but what was cool is we went the first hour, we flew over the cornfields, and they'd go in the cornfields, and they're shorter than the stalks of corn, so you'd lose them in there, but you could just see these V's as they were pushing through the corn, and you just shot at the top of the V, and then when the V kind of opened up wide, you knew you rolled the pig, and then you named for the next V. And that was awesome. Yeah. And then we'd kind of like fly in sideways, all, you know, really cool, and made me feel really awesome. Check it out, and then we'd leave and go look for some more.
Yeah.
And
sounds amazing.
Oh, it was way amazing. And then we shot, and then we got to go eat lunch. So we landed in the backyard of this restaurant in our helicopters with our guns.
That's a very Texas thing to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much there was like 6 other helicopters there, you know, guys just showing. I'm just kidding, there wasn't, but very Texas.
You were the
thing
only
to do.
one that showed up in a helicopter?
Yeah, with suppressed rifles, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, were you allowed to bring them inside?
No, we had to, like, you're going to chain your bike up downtown. We had to chain our rifles up to the helicopter. For real. I'm not even kidding. Yep. So we used, like, the bike lock with, like, the 4-digit rotary code. Ran it through, like, I think we ran it through the trigger guard.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. If you ever get a chance to do it, you've got to go pork chopping.
Go do it.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like so much fun.
Was it day or night?
It was day.
So
you can do it
with lunch. Yeah.
You can do it at night now and run nods.
Right.
Yeah, I've done the night thermal hog hunting, and that's pretty cool.
Is it?
It's my biggest surprise for it was when you start getting on a group of pigs and you start shooting, and you're looking through a thermal scope. You have night vision on the stalk to the right place, and it gets set up. But then you go dark, and you get your thermal up, and your thermal the thermals we were using would activate when you put your eye to the cheek piece. I mean, to the eye piece. Yeah. So it kicks on then, and you see them in there. We were running white hot, so things that are hot are white, and so the pigs are all white, and everybody coordinates. There was 3 of us, and we start shooting. And when you start hitting pigs, and we're shooting suppressed, so it's very apparent when you hit something. With the flesh backing or whatnot. And but what surprised me the most was it looked like someone took white paint and was throwing it everywhere, because we were, it was blood, blood from the pigs, and white everywhere, and the heat trails, and they're leaving heat on the ground from where they were standing and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the weird part.
The tip we got.
I saw that in Predator.
Yeah, the tip
My
we
favorite
got.
documentary.
The tip we got was the guide said, there was probably 12 pigs in this group. We walked up. He said, "You're going to want to shoot the big ones first. Don't shoot the little ones, because they're easy to hit when they're standing still. When they start running,
oh really?
They're very hard to hit." And he said, dot on the snout, and just go.
Interesting.
And I think we surprised him. There was, 12, I said, in that group, and I think we took 6 or 7 down.
Wow.
And he's like, "You guys got to slow down." He goes, "We're going to be here for a while. We don't want to kill all the pigs, but we kind of want to kill all of them. But I want to come back here in a few nights and be able to take another guy." And
right, yeah,
because
it's now his business, right?
Exactly.
He wants to make more money.
Eradication is his business.
We ended up with 9, I think, that night, or 9 or 10 maybe. But it was fun. We were there till we started at dusk, and we were there till 2 or 3 in the morning. It was cold and rainy toward the end, and we saw a couple coyotes. The guide ended up taking a coyote. It was a good time.
The eradication of pigs is such a weird thing, because now it's like an economy, right?
Absolutely is.
And so they're like slaughtering them, basically. First of all, I want to know what happens to all the bodies, but we'll get to that in a minute. But then they just keep multiplying, because what can they do? Like in a several month period, they can have up to like 6 piglets.
Yeah, I'm not a biologist, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. But from what I heard, their gestation period is like super short.
Yeah.
So they can just churn them out.
Right. That's incredible. And so how is this now a problem? Has this like been creeping up for like the last 100 years and we didn't know about it?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't used to have pigs, especially North Texas.
It's probably like everything,
Invasive species.
urbanization.
Oh,
Everything's expanding and it's driving things out. And we killed one of the pigs we killed in Texas. It wasn't very far from here. It was a mule hoof pig, so most pigs have a solid hoof. I was learning all this that night. But
on the job training.
Exactly. This pig, one of the ones we killed, had a split like a mule does. And so the guy said, they're officially not in Texas yet, but we've been killing them.
Crazy. Yeah,
but they're moving. They move all the way. One of the coolest things I saw was a video of a guy in a kayak, and he was going down a river, and he had about 12 of them swimming across the river. So they yeah, I don't know what the hunting them is fun, but I really wonder how effective it is.
Yeah,
and
it's like coyotes, right? I watched a coyote documentary,
and you mean Looney Tunes?
Yes, yes. So I was watching Looney Tunes.
Never catches them.
And the coyote population just like keeps growing and expanding, even though man is trying to obliterate and kill them, and they just keep going like all over the United States. It's like absolutely incredible.
They're going to fight. They're going to fight to survive and adapt.
Yeah, for sure. Crazy. So what do you do? What do you do with the bodies then, Nick? If you're in the helicopter,
they hit the floor. Hit the floor. Oh, it beat me to it. That's my one chance. Let them lay.
Too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people eat them, but
they're just. And then what? They just decompose.
Yeah. Actually.
There are
because
other pigs eat them.
They're carnivore. They will eat their own.
And the coyotes will come out. So you shoot the pigs one night, and then the next night, man, the coyotes are just out on full force. Yeah. So like my place, I shot a couple pigs.
Maybe you're feeding the coyotes.
It's all cyclical, Dave.
Gonna feed them a little lead later.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah, but then the coyotes will come out, and then you shoot the coyotes, and then the pigs will come out, and you shoot the pigs, and nature's a crazy thing.
But I think now that it's a business, like it's a tourist business,
ain't going away.
Well, yeah, and where before it's like prairie dogs up north. I mean, they used to beg you to shoot them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, please come out here, and I'll give you $1 a pig or whatever you shoot. And well, then it turned into big business. People coming out of urban centers to go prairie dog hunting. They're like, oh, no, you can pay me $500.
Yeah.
And I think once it goes into that, well, now it's like that guide was saying, he's got a trip next week.
He's got to pay fuel for that helicopter.
Correct. And then you have the government side, too, with it's a nuisance species, but you have to have a hunting license for it. So.
Yep. And I think they're actually Texas Parks and Wildlife, and I may be totally off base here, but I heard that they're also going to start poisoning them.
Interesting.
Because the hunting isn't keeping up. I mean, it's not even making a dent.
How do you poison them? Feeders?
With poison.
Poison.
I understand that, but how do you get them to eat the poison?
Bait. Probably food. I mean, they'll eat anything. I mean, you can corn mash, you put it in the corn, or they'll eat anything. I mean,
so then unintended consequences is something else going to eat that poison?
And that's the concern, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trippy.
It is totally.
Well, we got to solve this, Nick.
Let's do it. Sounds like a business plan right here.
Yeah, right?
Up with it. Yep.
First, we're going to send you to biology school.
Yeah.
Well, so there's those things I saw in Alien. They got the miniguns on turrets that just track movement. We should get some of those.
Should.
Add to cart.
I think you can Amazon Prime that, yeah.
Can I get the overnight shipping?
We're close to Dallas. They might have that thing in 2 hours.
That's true. They got one of those lockers you can go pick it up from.
Prime now.
A little drone comes and drops your crate like you're on Call of Duty or something.
All right,
Speaking of which, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. It worked. All right, so we're at the Triple C range, Crescent, Texas. We just shot the Vortex Shooter Source 3-gun. Nick, how'd your match go?
It was a roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I always love this match. This is probably one of my favorite matches. I love the venue out here.
This is the setting of your favorite match story, too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, your favorite stage ever that you remember?
My favorite stage ever that I remember?
Yeah, you tell it all the time. No?
All the time?
Okay. I've heard it like 4 times.
Favorite one ever. No, you're going to have to refresh me, I guess.
Never mind then. Go on.
Are you talking about the UTV?
No.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about.
The first one, right?
Yeah, so the first year where they had, it was a long stage. So you had your rifle at low ready to start. You had your shotgun on your back, pistol holstered. And it was like, from start to finish, it was probably, 200 yards or more. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
At least 200 yards.
Yeah.
And you start.
Brian,
and
just so you know, we can't hear when you mouth things on the podcast.
I know. I was trying to understand. I'm losing it here. I was there. We were on the same squad. I'm trying to think.
It's the one that
This
Aaron
is a
ran.
coaching podcast.
Butler
We're trying to-
the dry
go
the dry creek bed.
Yeah. And so you start off, and it's like hoser paper, and then Jeremy hit some BCs in the trees, and so you're smashing the BCs, and you dump your rifle, you pull your shotgun off your back, and start smashing targets, and then there's some slugs mixed in, and you dump your shotgun, and then the race is on, and you're just booking it down this dry creek bed, and there's it kind of goes up on both sides of you, and so you've got paper targets that are in this creek bed, in this kind of valley, not valley, but just a.
You're 2 to 3 feet below. Your head's about 2 or 3
below grade.
But yeah.
And you're just smashing targets, doing reloads,
Shooting up, yeah.
and that's probably, and it's a full-on sprint. I mean, it's pretty much a straight line.
And then to top it off at the end, there were 3 BCs at like 50 or 60 yards with the pistol after you just did all that.
Yeah.
So you're just gassed.
That are all stuck in trees and branches hiding.
Yeah,
and
that was a
stuff.
fun stage.
That's one thing you can definitely expect this match is to hose a bunch of stuff, and then as you're like running and everything, and then once you're stopped, there's some long targets for you to shoot.
Yeah.
And that's like mid-range with the rifle offhand, or with pistol, they put them out 40, 50 yards, like BC zone type targets.
You guys probably saw this. Majority of the stages, you always had something challenging you at the end. Like what we just shot this morning, right, kind of almost the end, but a pistol spinner after you just shot 20-something plus rounds of birdshot.
Yeah.
A couple other like
that spinner ate my lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Doesn't have a bearing. It's a pipe on a pipe. It's Texas, everything Russ.
Pipe on a pipe, huh?
Pipe.
Kinda gay.
It's awkward.
It is?
I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Well, maybe can I pose this question? I've shot in Texas a lot of times. I've always shot this match because I was affiliated with Shooter Source and Vortex. I came down here to other matches because they were part of a series.
At this range?
No, like the 3 Gun Nation
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I've been to Texas for 3 gun matches. However, I have never shot what I would consider to be the traditional Texas 3 gun matches. I've never shot Fallen Brethren. I've never shot the Texas Multi-Gun Championship or whatever Texas
3
whatever variation of
3 gun championship.
Texas 3 gun.
Texas multi-gun is
yes.
an old one. Texas
Yeah.
3 gun championship is
Right.
the current one.
Yeah.
Right. There have been many iterations or long running matches in Texas that I've never been to. This one now I think has established itself, but like a lot of you guys have shot a lot of Texas matches. Like how does this match compare to the other matches typically in Texas? Because Texas you could probably classify as like its own region of 3 gun.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and so 3 gun is definitely very regional. It's different everywhere. So Ryan, what do you think? How does this match stack up to other Texas matches?
I've been shooting in Texas since my first 3 gun match was here in Waco in 2009. It was sponsored by LaRue, and I knew them well from their hand guards and scope mounts and whatnot. And jumped in. I shot a pump shotgun, and I think I still have a picture in my office of me on the rooftop with a 16-inch AR with a hand guard and a quad rail and a forward grip and a flashlight.
Oh, nice.
And I remember driving up to that match, and it hooked me right off the bat because you just heard a minigun rip. And Dylan Arrow had come with a minigun, and I forgot how many thousands of rounds, and every shooter shot 50 rounds on the clock through a minigun, which is about 0.2 seconds. Yeah, very, very quick. But this match is just what I consider to be a Texas natural terrain match.
Yeah.
It's going to challenge your physical ability, your shooting ability, your mental ability. You're going to do stuff here that you typically can't do in a bay style match.
Oh yeah.
So it's great all around. They all have their little taste of flavor. I know the Texas 3 gun championship was about a month ago, and they do a lot of 3 gun 2 gun stages, and they will have one gun stage for each gun, and that plays well to your shooters who are stronger. Like I tend to favor my pistol a lot. So that all pistol stage, I was all over that. Loved it. All shotgun stage, I kind of struggle with it a little bit, but one of my better all shotgun stages I've had in a while. Where this one, it was 2 gun minimum. We didn't have any single gun stages. Even on the stage we were shooting out to to 500 yards or so, we still had to show our abilities with another weapon as well. So.
Yep. Yeah, and we had a 3-gun stage out to 560 yards, you know.
Yep.
Where the
where you didn't shoot a single round of birdshot either. It was all slugs.
Yeah. I love I love slugs. Slugs.
You're in the minority.
I know.
Most people hate slugs.
Most people hate slugs, but if you learn to embrace slugs, then you have a severe advantage on people because most people hate slugs.
Exactly.
They don't practice them, and so they don't become good at them.
Yeah.
And you come to a match like this, and like slugs are very important.
They
Very
are.
important.
Also, slugs when your barrel's heated up too.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is kicking the pants. So that particular stage, actually, we can see that stage from here. I just realized.
I think they're still shooting or just finishing up now. I hadn't heard a shot in a few minutes.
Boy, that American flag that's over there is ripping right now.
Yeah.
Hate to
It's
be shooting right
always
now.
windy here.
Yeah, and that's something else about this Texas match too is the weather conditions can change from day to day to day. And
Yeah.
you guys saw that. I mean, we had a beautiful day Friday. It was windy but beautiful, and then we had 2 thunderstorm fronts come through yesterday, and then today it's beautiful but windy again.
Yep.
So
It's pretty much always windy here, though.
yeah,
Yep.
it is. It is.
I tell you what, this match, the Texas boys shine at this match because they're used to shooting in the wind.
Home turf.
Home turf advantage for sure. This is
Yeah.
like a huge advantage.
Yep. And Jeremy loves to stretch it out here. I mean, just get those 5.5 and maybe tease you with a 6, you know, or if there's a bonus target. He didn't do it this year, but he may, stick a bonus out there just to tempt you.
I'm just glad that kangaroo is
I know.
gone.
You and me both.
The first year they had a kangaroo target.
His name was Jack.
Yep, and it was at about 500 yards. And if you think of a kangaroo, it was pretty much a question mark is what we were shooting at 500 yards. So you got to target that but the body of the kangaroo and
the tail
and
that
the
wrapped
tail.
around that was not
so
solid.
It looks huge, but it's not. You got all these holes from where the
Okay.
and, oh man.
It's like
That ate a lot of
Swiss
people's-
cheese.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was the only target I think I didn't hit at that match.
I hit it.
Yeah. That's what she said.
I neutralized it with 1 power scope.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so
Just saying.
Just throwing that out there. Thanks.
that out there.
Awesome. Yeah.
Is that what you're going to get in Texas that you can't really get anywhere else? You get a lot of long range stages.
Everything's
You get
flat and far away here.
Flat.
Yeah, this is not.
This is
I wouldn't call
I'm
this
from,
flat.
I'm from Colorado. This is
Well,
flat.
we don't have the Rockies.
Well,
Right.
I'm from Louisiana, so this is hilly.
John
This is
Denver.
really, yeah, that's a good point.
Like we just had 4 legit long range stages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
2 like long range stages in the sense that you would normally think of a long range
Yeah.
stage, and then we had 4 stages that had significant portions or significant targetry beyond 300 yards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what this match. It definitely has tested your long range ability.
Yeah, for sure. I was calling this match a long gun match. It's not just a long range match because it was very shotgun heavy, very rifle heavy. There's a little bit of pistol in the middle, but yeah, long guns are where it's at. I was walking stages with my buddies from Colorado, and I'm apparently I say this too much on the podcast, but we in our club matches we don't shoot past 200 yards. And so we come out here and we're looking at 4 stages with shots over 350 yards, and even the couple of us that had been here before were like, okay.
Yeah.
It's before. I mean, we had a lot of challenging pistol shots. We had a few challenging pistol shots here, but
I would
this
say there's further shots on
and
previous matches.
smaller targets, and
Last year that helicopter stage with the long pistol targets downhill.
Yeah.
ate
that
my
was
lunch.
That was me as well. I burned my mulligan there and didn't get much out of it.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the mulligan last year.
Now you know.
I tell you, I was skeptical at first with the mulligan, and the very first year here, and the minute the first person puts that money down on it, you've got to get it.
Yeah,
Oh, you have to. You're obligated for the most part.
So for the listeners, explain the mulligan, right?
So the mulligan here is you pay for this year was $30, and you get a redo. So it can't override a DQ, but it can if you have a bad stage or you think you could do better. Before you hit approve on the score sheet, you throw the mulligan down, and they move you to the back of the line, and you reshoot the stage, but you can only do it once. And you have to declare it before. You can't go back to your vehicle and think about it, mull it around.
You got to do it before you hit approve,
You
right?
got to make the call right then, and before the next shooter starts even. So.
Oh, okay.
So. The very first year, we had an all-rifle stage. It was probably about 60 rounds, I believe it was. And about into target number 4, I suffered a magazine failure and had a piece of magazine stuck in the gun, couldn't run the gun.
Oh,
so
wow.
I laid my mulligan down and put up a top 5 finish on the stage from that. So I got really good out of that. The year before, or the next year, didn't really get much benefit from it. And this year I didn't even use it. I couldn't, didn't burn anything down this weekend, but didn't really kind of wasn't sure if I should use it onto the last stage and weighed the risks or benefits of failing on it and even getting a worse score. I was like 10 seconds off the pace, off the lead, and a lot could go wrong on the one we shot. We ended up on 4, which was all 3 guns, and nothing too far distance-wise with the rifle.
I think you made the right decision on that.
I think so too.
Because the reshoot gods could come back and strike you down.
That's right. And that's the tricky part is there is a reshoot. So I think you're right, Ryan. Like the catastrophic malfunction.
That's kind of what I saved it for.
Yeah.
I will say I went to that last stage saying, so I got 2 options. I can pedal to the metal and just run this as fast as possible, not stop. And then if I get a couple misses or things don't go right, I can lay the mulligan down. But going full tilt like that, you have a high potential for DQ here because it was a stage that wrapped around, and all it takes is a misstep and a missed target, and you think you can get to that one, you point the gun at it, and you're gone for the day.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Because that mulligan doesn't take away DQ.
No. Yeah, the stage that I wish I had used it on, you just made me think like, oh, it was a good thing I didn't, because it was stage 8. It was the super long range stage where we shoot slugs. We shoot 3 consecutive plate racks all from a tower and then shoot out to 560 yards. I shot first on that, and the ROs were hurrying us to get on the stage even before we were supposed to, like our time was available. So I got up there and I looked at the targets, and I'm like, I'm not quite sure my engagement order, and it behind the scope, it was even worse.
Yeah.
So I was so PO'd after that, like I just went down to the truck, and then I realized, oh shoot, I got a mulligan. And by that time, they'd already started the next shooter, so I wasn't able to use it.
Yeah.
But 10 shooters later, wind was really whipping there.
Yeah.
So I got very fortunate on that. And if I had said I want to use my mulligan, then I would have been shooting in that wind. So that's the game you have to play with it.
I've only seen the mulligan on long range work once, and it was when someone realized something happened to their 0 on their gun, and were able to lay it down, go to the 0 range, get dialed back in, and come back. Because and if you're not going to if the wind's fighting you, 10 shooters later, it's still going to be.
And then you're going to put that much more pressure on yourself.
And then you've got the mental
reshoot going. I got to shoot faster. I got to make this up.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, it's about to go down over there for awards and everything, so we better wrap up and skedaddle. But any final thoughts? Adam, we'll start with you, buddy.
This match is always a riot. It gets bigger and bigger every year. I think it's established itself to the point now where it's definitely must attend on my list, and there's definitely some extracurricular activities that go down at this one that are not to be missed as well.
Nice. Well, we'll talk about those in the match recon. Nick, any final thoughts here?
Just second what Adam said. This is probably one of my favorite matches of the year.
Yeah.
And it just gets better. Jeremy Moore does an awesome job of promoting and putting on this match, and huge thanks to the sponsors for supporting it. If you haven't shot this match, you need to put it on your 2019 schedule.
Absolutely. I tell you what, so for me, this was a must shoot as well. I really wanted to shoot USPSA Multi-Gun Nationals, which is happening right now, but I had to make the decision, and I knew that it was a sure thing coming back here, and I enjoyed last year so much, so that's why I came back. Ryan, final thought from you, bud?
This is my 3rd year here, and I've been here all 3 years, and we've seen something different, something innovative all 3 times. And the staff here is fantastic. They're Texas, Southern Hospitality, great guys. Great job on the match director. And the facility is amazing. I mean, there's even places we shot stages on that we hadn't shot on before. So it
just keep uncovering more cool
venue.
ground.
Absolutely, and we had a great squad. I was kind of hesitant. We had 17 on our squad. Nick and I were kind of joking about that. Singing, a third of the matches on our squad. Yeah. But man, our squad knocked it out. We had a guy. This was his first 3-gun match, and
cool.
And he finished. He finished a few places from the bottom, and he was just smiling ear to ear for 3 days, just taking it all in. He did a great job.
Good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
Absolutely.
Hey, before you take off, check out the show notes at 3gunshow.com for links to things that we discussed in the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Armalite, the original. Armalite rifles put the AR in AR-15. The rifles themselves come with 1 8 twist barrels, match barrels, 18-inch or 13.5-inch with a 15-inch or 12.5-inch handguard, Timney trigger, Luth AR stock, adjustable gas system, tunable comp, a patented tunable comp. This thing's ready to go right out of the box for a 3-gun with no additional modifications other than putting on a nice optic. I myself use a Vortex Viper PST 1-6 when I'm shooting TAC Ops or their Spitfire when I'm shooting limited. Check them out at armalite.com. Quick reminder that if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, subscribe in iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast content, so you will always get the very latest. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'm Dave Hartman, and I'll see you on the range.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.